Jesus got a body. Do what he did with his body. And we went the exact opposite way and said, no, I'm not going to worship God with my body. My body's going to be God. I'm not going to use this as a tool for obeying God and serving others. I'm going to use this as a tool for obeying every thought and feeling I have and calling the world to serve my thoughts and feelings. Now, why am I sharing all this on Christmas, right? I mean, there's somebody in here right now saying, this sounds like a Christmas message to me. Well, for one, it happened at Christmas. You know, what are we going to do, folks? I mean, a lot of Christians, we're scared right now. We're running for cover. Hey, what's our strategy? How are we going to survive this, work through this? Let me tell you my thought on this as I look at Christmas. Our strategy better be that we're operating from obedience. Are we different from they who we think so bad, who's destroying America? Are we different from them? Romans chapter 12, verse 1 says, I urge you, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your what? Bodies. You know, it's interesting, if you do a focus on a word, what does Christmas gives us? It gives us God getting a body. And then all of a sudden you start looking at all the places that shows up in the New Testament. And guess what? There's a lot here about a body. I want you to use your body as a living sacrifice. Man, there's a lot of fun ways to think about what that might look like and what that might mean. I can have a spiritual worship with my physical body. And like I said, next week we're going to come back and have a little more fun, be a little more light. We're going to balance out today, okay? But we're just going to look at head to toe. How can this be a living sacrifice in worship to God? But then there's another aspect of what that means. I think Paul represents this well. As I think, hey, Paul, what did your body being a living sacrifice, what did that mean to you? And listen to what Paul says. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 24. 5 different times, the Jewish leaders gave me 39 lashes. Stop right there. If you received 39 lashes with the kind of whip that they were using, do you realize that moment you would live with the rest of your life? You would have nerve endings destroyed, and so there'd be areas of pain, searing pain that would go on the rest of your life. They certainly don't have Neosporin. They don't have anything to put on somebody's back after they get whipped like that. I mean, there's going to be infection. There's going to be healing issues. You're going to be incredibly scarred and disfigured for the rest of your life. And that was part of the punishment. For the rest of your life, everybody will know you got this. 39 lashes. That happened to Paul 5 times. I would suggest Paul probably by the end of his life was somewhat hideous to look at. You would absolutely turn the other way. 5 times I received 39 lashes. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 times I was shipwrecked. Notice all these descriptions are about what is happening to his what? His body. Once I spent a whole night and a day adrift at sea. I have traveled on many long journeys. I have faced danger from rivers, from robbers. I have faced danger from my own people, the Jews as well as the Gentiles. I have faced danger in the cities, in the deserts, and on the seas. And I have faced danger from men who claim to be believers but are not. I have worked hard and long, and during many sleepless nights. I've been hungry and thirsty and have often gone without food. I have shivered. He remembers that. He remembers that night shivering in the cold without enough clothing to keep me warm. Now I read that and the first thing I want to say is, okay, so here's the good news. There's no command in the Bible to go find a place to get whipped. There's no command in the Bible that you need to be shipwrecked somewhere for Jesus. It doesn't even say in the Bible you have to shiver at least once for Christ. There's no command like that. But what are we seeing in Paul? We're seeing an attitude. We're seeing whatever this might mean, whatever this might cost. Man, I'm not shrinking back. I'm not stopping.